Welcome to Purpose and Passion with Raina Carrillo. I have the lovely Leyna Topete in the building. You know, I always read off my cue card because I don't want to miss anything. So Leyna, she has a beauty and lifestyle business that's called Impromptu. Do you know that I did not know what Impromptu was until I interviewed you a few years back? Yeah. And I had to Google it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what it represents. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also Leyna has a nonprofit organization called Her Too in honor of Lola, which is her mother, who battled breast cancer from 2007 to 2019 and wanted every woman to have a chance to fight. And so this is what I always do the intro, because I think it's truly important to acknowledge, you know, what each individual passion is, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm just so delighted that you're here with us in Lux Media Studios. Yeah, boy.
Well, I'm excited to be here because, like you mentioned, we did do a podcast interview a few years back.
Yes.
And I was thinking about that today when I was getting ready, and a lot has obviously changed. This is phenomenal.
Right?
You know?
This is truly a blessing for me. I kid you not, like, having this opportunity, it's crazy because you go from a regular studio from Westchester to Rodeo freaking Drive,
right?
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations, darling.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So let's talk about the, well, we're not going to go into the business yet, but let's talk about, you know, your childhood. Like, where's your mom and father from? Where were you born? How was your childhood, you know, when you were in high school and things of that nature?
Okay, so I was born in Long Beach.
Whoa.
Yeah, everybody always says that too. They're like, LBC in the house, but I don't really feel like I can claim it because I was just born there.
Yes,
you know? But my mom was Puerto Rican from the Bronx.
Yes.
And my dad is Mexican from Oakland.
Okay.
Back then, everybody was always saying, now how did that come to be? A Mexican and a Puerto Rican.
Yes.
I don't think now it's such a big deal, but I always felt like I got the best of both worlds.
You know? You do.
Yeah, seriously. So, but I was raised more on my Puerto Rican side.
Yes.
And, you know, grew up in the Marine Corps, which shout out because today is the Marine Corps birthday.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Happy birthday, Marines. We love and appreciate everything you do, and I love the Marine Corps.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, because it gave I was thinking about that. Do you have a Marine Corps background? Not with you, but...
My husband. He's a veteran.
Right.
Yes, he fought Desert Storm.
That's right.
Yes.
I was like, I think Raina does have also a Marine Corps tie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and the Marine Corps has given me so much. And I just love the Marine Corps so much. You know, but my childhood was good. And I went to 13 different schools. Yes. Because all the traveling that we did, you know, and I think that as an adult, as a grown woman now, I can say that the Marine Corps has given me so much preparation for the entrepreneurial path. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I'm just thankful.
Yeah. And your mom, how many years was she a Marine?
29.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, I'm so proud of her. She was a retired Master Gunnery Sergeant, E9. That's part of the 1%. You know, in the Marine Corps, a lot of people don't make it to that level, but she did.
And especially she's a woman.
And as a woman too, you know, it's interesting because she joined in the 80s, and I have this memory. We were stationed in Virginia Beach. She was a single mom at the time. You know, that was back when the Marine Corps didn't care so much about the fact that you were a single mother. It was like, make it work. Now they've got things to help people out. But I remember at the time I was 4, she'd wake me up early. She'd pour me Apple Jacks. I'd have to eat that in the car. We'd get to the office. She had to go shoot at the range. So she'd bring me into the office. She'd be, okay, go to sleep for a little bit. I got to go shoot at the range. Yes. She'd go shoot at the range. She'd wake me up. She'd go drop me off at kindergarten, go back to work.
Wow.
And then she'd pick me up. You know, like, so I don't know how she did it.
Yeah, the sacrifices. Yeah, the sacrifices of a mother.
Yeah.
You know, and so when, you know, what high school did you graduate from?
My gosh, I went to 3 high schools. I ended up graduating from James Monroe in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay.
But, you know.
So where did the diva come out? That's what I want. Miss Virginia.
Yeah, because I don't claim VA. Like, I don't feel like I'm from there. Where did the diva come out? You know, I've always loved old Hollywood.
Yes.
Always. I love black and whites. I love Joan Crawford. I really do.
No, I do.
You know,
I know that.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's, I think, the glamour of that. I want to bring that back.
Yeah, you're the one that brought me back to Frank Sinatra.
Did I?
Yeah, because I wasn't really, you know, I'm from Inglewood, bumping some Mac 10 and Tupac.
I know, but when we get together, I don't know that part. I don't know that, Raina.
No, you don't, because you kind of shift me into this Marilyn Monroe kind of type of chick.
I know, right? I was actually, we'll talk about it, obviously, but I found out that at the Beverly Hills Hotel, you know how they have bungalows? So apparently number 5 is the one that Elizabeth Taylor stayed in, and A1 is the one that Marilyn stayed in. So, you know, I was like, okay, next year I'm staying in Elizabeth Taylor's bungalow.
That's right.
I don't know. There's just something really alluring about old Hollywood.
Yes.
Something very glamorous and something very...
it's classic.
It's classic.
Yeah. It's like you can bring that era till like right now, and it'll still be classy and classic. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, we're living in a times where women, you know, want to literally be half naked, and it's okay to show some stuff. You know, it's fine. I mean, you know, but some women do it in this manner of, you know, somebody can like kind of pick you up kind of thing, you know, like they think you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, like you got all this beautiful body. You don't have to always show it.
Exactly.
And when you do, it's great because it's like, wow, it's rare that she shows, you know, but I believe that you could still be beautiful, covered and classy. And, you know, I think about that. And I think about how, you know, how you introduced me to the wine. What is your favorite wine again?
Prosecco.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Prosecco. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. And so, so when did the entrepreneur spirit came out, and how did you get to Impromptu?
So that happened in 2014. I was in Florida at the time visiting my mom, and she'd been battling this allergic reaction lipstick for years.
Yes.
And so there was just one particular day where we were in her room, and she had just said, you know what, I'm tired. I've been buying all this lipstick, trying to find a lipstick that I want to be able to wear, but I can't because of reaction. I wish a celebrity would develop this same allergy so that maybe they'll create something that I could wear. And I just said, Mom, why does it have to be a celebrity? Why don't I try? That must have been a God thing, because why would I say that? Because prior to that, I never had entrepreneurial aspirations. And really and truly, I flew back to LA and knew nothing about business. And so I went to Google, I don't know, lipstick manufacturers in Southern California. That really was the beginning of it. And then little by little, here we are today, you know, just a lot of hardship and sacrifice and doing the legwork and just getting through every chapter and every step.
My favorite lipstick is the red one.
Oorah.
Oorah, there you go. And oorah is like the Marine code for, I keep forgetting what is
well, I don't know if it's like code for, like, I know that the Army says ooh-ha, and then the Marine Corps says oorah. Like, so it's just a thing that they say, and there's nothing.
And it's powerful, though.
It's so powerful. If you've ever been in a room with Marines, when they say that, oh my gosh, you're like, yes.
Yes, it's like they're saying $1 billion.
Right, seriously.
It's a powerful word.
Yeah, it's just so like, dang.
Yeah, your makeup is very beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it. It's quality. And I like the fact that the lipstick claps like it's like a magnet. So because, you know, lipsticks will come apart.
Yeah.
They'll fall off, and then you'll find that your lipstick is all in your purse. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And so talk about a little bit about that. Like, you know, why did you pick these colors? And, you know, what is your brand in Impromptu? Is it just lipsticks, you know, things of that nature?
So when I first started this, I only envisioned doing lip product. I was like, that's what we're going to stick with. Let's be really niche about it and do that. And of course, in the process, my mom was the inspiration. So in that whole testing part of it, she was there and present. We would test things on her and it wouldn't work. We'd go back. Then once we got the formula, then we picked colors. She and I did that together. I looked everywhere for inspiration, picking other colors. So we got to pick colors together. Then I'll never forget when we got to sit down and we named them together. And I said, Mom, why don't we name them? This is inspired by you, so why don't we name them after things that relate to your life? We sat in the living room. We looked at the colors and we said, okay, this one looks like this. This one looks like that. That was fun. And I'll always have that memory. And then over the course of time, I realized, well, I don't want to be a cosmetic brand because there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a lifestyle brand.
Yes.
So how does that look like? And so I thought about, what does impromptu mean to me? And now you know the word.
Yes.
You know, that whole spontaneous nature, which is the way that I live my life, by the way.
Yes, you do. You travel
Right?
so much.
Yeah.
You're so spontaneous, Leyna.
I believe in living that way. And so when I realized, I thought, well, that's very true to who I am. It's about living life spontaneously. Let that be the message.
Yeah.
And so I always say, it is a lifestyle brand that I launched in the beauty space.
Mm.
And then recently I realized you're cutting yourself short, though, in the beauty space if you only do lip stuff.
Yes.
Because people kept asking me as they got to know, they're like, when are you ever going to do eyeshadow palettes? Are you ever going to do this? Ever going to do that? And I would say, no, no, no. But then I realized that's not so bright.
Mm-hmm.
If people are wanting that,
yes,
give that to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, your product is quality. But that red lipstick, oh my gosh, is my favorite because it has kind of like of a brick tone to it, mm-hmm. which matches my skin because I'm considered morena, you know?
Yeah.
And I like how that fit me very well. So we have, if you want to check out Leyna's Impromptu, you can go to www.impromptu.life. Mm-hmm. And then also you can follow her business on IG at impromptu.beautylifestyle. And so let's go on to the next topic, which will be the nonprofit organization. Oh, wait a minute. Before the nonprofit organization, let's talk about the event that your mom attended, I attended, and how you had all those women together. How we had Connie Pena do J-Lo, yes. And then the Selena. Yeah. Talk about that.
So we got to talk about that. I'm so glad you said that because that is my other business baby that kind of gets lost a little bit. Like, I don't have kids.
Yes.
So for me, when I think about my businesses, they're like my children.
Yes,
so I have 3 kids right now. And you do have real children. So I'm sure that you can understand when I say sometimes maybe a child feels neglected because you're giving all the attention. So Glowgetter, mm-hmm. which was IBL, which is the event you're speaking of.
Yes.
Yeah, it was my second business baby that I developed because in the course of growing Impromptu and doing all these things, I thought, you know what, I go to these events and I would see women not really supportive of other women.
Yes.
And we've talked about this.
Yes, we did.
I would see these women get on stage and they'd be like, you know, we got to support women and cheers, cheers, cheers. And they would literally get off the stages and I would see somebody different. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'll never forget, and I've maybe talked about it in other platforms, so I'll share it really quickly. It was an event for, I don't want to say the organization, but it was the guest speaker panel. I was just about to launch Impromptu. There just so happened to be a woman who had her own cosmetic line. I'm listening to her speak. I'm intrigued. I'm engaged. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to talk to her.
Yes.
You know, she gets off the stage, and she was so sweet when I said, hi, my name's Leyna. But the second I said, and I'm getting ready to launch my own lipstick line, competition.
Yes.
I said, I would love to speak with you. You know, can I get your business card? I'd love to talk with you. So she went to go to her purse to go grab it. And then somebody came to speak with her. I swear she was taking forever to find that card. And my friend was with me, David, my ex. Mm-hmm. And I go, why do I feel like she's hoping that I'm going to say, forget it, I'll give you mine. Yeah. And I go, but I'm not going to do that. And she finally found it. She went like this over her shoulder to hand it to me.
Oh, hell no.
She didn't even
look at
me. And so I've had a few experiences like that. Yeah. And I thought, you know what, this is BS. I'm not gonna stand for that. So if I have to create a platform where I can really be genuine with other women, because listen, there's room for everybody.
Yes, it is.
She was of a different ethnic background, different demographic, different age group, we don't need to be a direct competition.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
I am who I am, you are who you are. We bring different things to the table. So that's when IBL at the time was born. And I wanted it to be an event business and do pop-ups and all the vendors could be women-owned businesses with products.
Well,
and
honey,
stuff like that.
Vendors were like, I'm about to just say what I want to say. It was off the hook. It was off the hook. It was very quality. I've never been to that venue before.
Casa Vertigo.
Yeah, I've never been there. I've always passed by it on the freeway. You know, it's literally by downtown LA off the 110 freeway.
Because they have that big billboard always at Fashion Nova.
And when you walk inside, you're like, wow. Yeah. But I connected with so many women at that event that I was able to interview some women and they're,
Really?
yeah, for my for my old channel, podcast, Straight from the Streets Radio. So it was very inspiring because I know what you're talking about. I've been to many women events where women are very catty, they're ugly inside and out, and they walk in there like their shit don't stink. And that's not what a woman empowerment event is. If you're confident, that's fine. That's different. Being confident, walking in with all red and your fears is like, wow, who's that lady? I want to meet her. You know what I mean?
And then isn't it the best thing when you meet her and she's so
Oh my
genuine
God,
and sweet?
yes. Like Mariah Carey. Oh my God, that's my memory. Do my Mariah, please. Do it. 1, 2, 3, go. Yes.
You know
Oh
what's
my
so funny
gosh.
is literally if I called my grandma right now, because you love when I do that, and I do that all the time at the house, right? But when I'm in Puerto Rico and I do that, and if I called Nana right now, and people, like my followers, they like,
Yes.
oh, I love Nana. If I called her right now and I do that, she'd be like, mira, deja eso. Like she can
Yeah, like leave it alone. Like, stop
she
it.
cannot stand when I do that.
I love it. But it's so funny though. But like going back to the women empowerment event, it was really nice. I love that Connie Pena hit the J-Lo so good.
Yeah, she did.
Like
It was-
she
yeah.
looked kind of like J-Lo. She was dancing kind of like J-Lo. And then my favorite was the Selena.
Yeah.
She's from Texas, right?
Amanda
Amanda.
Solis, yeah. My mom just was like, oh my gosh, she just adored her so much. So
Yes.
that was really awesome. It was like having Jennifer Lopez and Selena at my event.
Yes.
You know how I do. I was gonna do
Yes,
the
it-
first thing like right out the gate, but that was awesome and that was great. You know, and then I was getting ready to plan the second one in 2020. I was like, you know what? Let me do a complete rebranding because it was called
Yes.
IBL.
Yes.
And then I said, oh, I just want to change the logo, give it a refresh. So it became Glowgetter. And then I was going to do the second event in Scottsdale, Arizona, and then COVID hit.
Yes.
So then I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do now? Because I'd already invested money into that event. And then I thought, well, if I can't bring people to these women-owned businesses, then I'm going to bring the businesses to them. So let's make it a box.
Yes.
So that was a whole other thing. And it was a box that included 9 businesses. And it was a great way for me to also be business savvy in a way to cross-promote Impromptu.
Yes.
Because I am a woman-owned business, so I was able to put my product into that box as well and create more visibility for the brand. And then the first box launched March of this year on International Women's Day. And but I think what's also important is not to always show all the great things. You got to be authentic and real. And I have no problem saying that getting that second box off the ground was hard.
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't exist right now because
Yes.
it just was really that hard. So this year I had to say, you know what? I'm going to have to pivot again because that's the great. People say, what's the best advice you can give them? Pivot. If you know how to pivot,
Yeah.
you're good.
Okay.
You got to know how to do that. So I thought, I remember it was just this last call. I was trying to get women to get on board and it was a hardship. Trying to get 9 women
Yes.
to see your vision, I guess, in a sense, or, that kind of thing is always hard. So I thought, you know what? I've done a pop-up. I've done a box. I've invested all this money. I'm not going to let this go. So what's the next logical step? And I thought it would be to release merchandise product that is, I like to say, inspiring and motivating for the ambitious woman.
Yes.
So that's why now if you go to glowgetter.biz, there's product there. And I just launched it now with these cute little cosmetic toiletry bags. I want to release things that inspire, the ambitious woman.
Yes.
And again, I feel like it's true to my life because people who know me well know me as that person.
Yes. Very true. So then the journey right after that event, your mom let you know that.
Yeah. A lot of people actually don't know this, but a couple of days before the event, she flew out from Arizona and we were in my room and she was sitting on my bed and she goes, you know what, little girl? Because she always would call me that. She goes, I think I'm going to stop treatment. And I was just like, man, you just.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she goes, I'm tired. I'm tired and I want to go home and I'm done. And I remember her telling me, and I said, okay, so what does this look like now? Like, what's the next step? And she goes, well, the next step will be hospice. And then I heard that and I thought, oh my gosh. And she goes, but I don't want you to worry. She goes, because you know what? She goes, you never know. Some people can be in hospice for 3 years, 3 months. It just depends.
Yes.
And, but I had peace with it because she had peace with it. And I saw her fight for so long.
Yes.
So, but I don't think a lot of people knew that prior to that big event,
Yeah.
inside I was
going through that
Yeah.
emotion, because you told me it was like after, but now I'm hearing the truth, which it was before. So at that event,
I knew that already.
You knew that already, which is, it takes a strong woman mentally to continue to make sure that event was successful, knowing that your mom was about to be on hospice. You know what I mean? Because that's a strong word itself, you know, because we all know right after hospice, what's next? Crossing over. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so once that happened, and, you know, I don't like to say she lost her battle. I feel the right word is to say once she crossed over and met God.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm glad you say that, because I don't say that either, because she would always say, I didn't lose my battle. Because a lot of people also don't know.
She's a strong woman.
She was a strong woman. And also, too, it was her decision.
Yes, it was.
The oncologist did not tell her that the treatment she was on at the time had stopped working. She was the one that was saying, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I'm
yes.
tired, so I'm done with this. So I never say she lost her battle.
Me either. I don't like that word, because it's not about like she lost her battle. It's more that she herself says, I'm tired, you know, I'm done.
Yeah.
And that just means like, you know, I'm ready to cross over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a new, for me spiritually, because I was 6 years old seeing spirits, you know what I mean? Dead people. And I know it's just another dimension, you know, you cross over to something new. And so when your mom passed away, I don't want to go too deep into it because I'll get emotional.
Sure.
But
you can ask me anything, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do want to touch a little bit on that journey, you know, when you had to go through that with your mom, and when your mom passed, and how did her too become?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I do want to know.
Sure. Well, I do remember this one day when I was saying to her that I wanted to start a nonprofit in her honor. And at the time, I wanted to do something that would raise money for more treatment development for stage 4.
Yes.
And she had just said, she goes, I think that's really great. She goes, but I would prefer you raise money for women who can't afford treatment.
That's right.
The biggest thing about it was, you know, the fact that she could fight for 12 years is nothing short of God's grace, because she was a retired Marine, but everything was paid for.
Wow.
And I don't think I appreciated it as much during that time. Maybe I did take it a little bit for granted, you know, I don't know. Not her, but just the fact that everything, you know, but looking back now, and now because I have the nonprofit and I've done the research, I mean, it's a reality for women that actually can't fight that long because they can't afford treatment.
Yes. And then you were telling me to get the test. What is the name again?
BRCA gene test.
Okay, BRCA gene. Can you kind of touch up a little bit on that, like educate us a little bit?
Yeah, the little bit of what I know is that, you know, the BRCA gene 1 or 2, I think it is, you know, some women carry it, some women don't. I think the whole thing about it is if you have it, it's not to say that you're going to get breast cancer for sure, but it is to say that your chances are higher.
Yes.
And so, you know, my mom didn't have it, and for years, and I mentioned this at Night of Hope, for years, I just thought, okay, well, I'm good. I'm in the clear. But then when I met Trish Doolin, who was the guest of honor, and we'll talk about that more, you know, she was the one that urged me to, for my own peace of mind, get tested. And so I did, and I don't have it either. But it doesn't mean I'll never get breast cancer, because my mom didn't have it, and obviously she did. So, yeah.
Wow. So then how was the last day of your mom crossing over? How was that?
Now that might bring a little tears, but I have no problem talking about it. You know, so after the pop-up, that was June 30th of 2019. And then I packed up my apartment in LA, and I was like, well, I'm going to go be with you.
Yes.
You know, so I packed everything up and went to Arizona, and I was with her, and I just saw the decline, which was really super hard. Like, I remember this one time specifically, we went to go have breakfast, and it was getting to the point where it was even harder for her to walk. And I remember we got out of the car and she fell. And something that I'd struggled with was, this is the woman that when I was growing up, she was a Marine.
Yes, a strong woman.
A strong woman. I remember going on runs with her, and I couldn't keep up with her. And now this is the same woman, though, that just, you know, she's falling.
She's fragile.
She's so fragile. That was like really tough for me. And I remember we sat down, and I was a little bit upset. I was flustered. I was stressed out. And she goes, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. It's just so much going on, you know, and this is really hard for me. And I remember her saying, well, you know what? It's hard for me too, you know? And I just took a step back, and I was thinking, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. So, but towards the end, she was just so ready to go. And I remember too, these are a couple things I've never talked about,
Yes.
but somebody from hospice had come to give her a bath, and I was getting ready to go out, but I wanted to stick around to make sure that it was okay. And I
Yes.
remember watching her, and I didn't like the way she was bathing my mom. And I've never shared this story. And I said, you know what, you're done. You're done. I got this. She goes,
Yes.
okay. I was like, yeah, because I got this. And I gave
Yes.
my mom a bath, and I made sure I took my time with it and everything, and then helped her get dressed and put lotion on her. And I remember got her back in the bed, and she goes, you just gave me the greatest, like she loved it. She was like, Leyna gives the
Aw.
greatest baths, and the whole it was like, and I was like, well, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
And but the night before she passed, I remember my cousin Stephanie was there, but she was in the living room, and it was, Raina, when I tell you, it was just the most peaceful thing. I have the greatest memory of it. She was peacefully sleeping, because I want to say about 6 days before she passed away, she was just in a sleeping state
Yes.
at complete peace. I mean, she just looked like she was resting. And I gave her a little bath in bed, and I had like CC Winans playing,
Oh, yes.
and it was very peaceful. And I bathed her, I changed her shirt, I did her little facial treatment, like, because I put on
Yes.
face cream and everything like that. I sprayed her with her favorite perfume, gave her a kiss. I will treasure that forever. And it was just her and I. And then I was sleeping next to her, and she passed away while I was sleeping. But I was right next to her when I woke up.
Yes.
She was gone.
Yes.
But it was beautiful. And I don't think I could have asked for anything better than that.
Yeah.
You know?
The reason why I'm getting emotional is because there's one thing about me. When I cross over, I always tell God I don't want to die alone. I want to be with somebody. I don't even care if it's a stranger.
Yeah.
And so just to hear that you were able to be with your mom, and your mom didn't die alone. She died with her daughter there. Was probably the most peaceful thing for her. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Because people go to hospice in a building and they die by themselves with strangers. And so your mother had that opportunity to everything she wanted, she got it.
She did. You know what? You know what's really crazy about that too is every time I would go visit her in Arizona, I would always sleep next to her. That was our thing.
Yes.
But when I went to Arizona this time, people were visiting. Like, my aunt had come from Florida, and I would fall asleep in the living room. So I hadn't, when I went to Arizona, I hadn't slept next to her yet. What was so crazy was that that particular night after I gave her the bath, I fell asleep in the living room about 1 o'clock in the morning. Something told me, get up and go to her room.
Yes.
And I did. And sure enough, that was the night that she passed, was when I was next to her.
Yes.
And it was just me and her.
Wow.
So when I woke up, I looked at her, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then I ran to the other room, and I was like, Stephanie, my cousin's like, I think my mom's gone. I think she passed. And Stephanie came in, and, she looked, and she was like, yeah, she's gone. And I was just like, wow. My real thought, I'll be honest with you, and I don't really care. Like, I'll say my real thought was like, wow, I can't imagine what she's seeing. I was like, she's with Jesus now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because I knew that was
her beliefs. Her
that
faith
was her
and
beliefs, that was
beliefs.
her
Yes.
faith. And there's just so many things that, in life, you just, like, you can't question things, because some people don't die so peacefully.
You're correct about that. Yes.
Some people, I mean, when she asked them, she was like, what could I be facing towards the end? Well, you could face water in your lungs, you could face suffocation, you could face all these are real things that could happen. None of that happened. She was peaceful.
She went to sleep and never woke up. Wow. Whew. So, so then, mom passed away, and I remember you telling me you wanted to do this event. Can you talk about that? Right now, I'm like emotional.
Sure. We're talking, you mean like Night of Hope? Or?
Yes, the Night of Hope.
Yeah. Well, you and I sat down, and we always meet in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
By the way, you noticed that?
Yes.
I think every time we come together, it's in Beverly Hills, because I remember we had dinner at that restaurant, I think it was.
Yes.
And at that time, I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to do anything. And everybody was so nice about it. They were just like, I get it. Take your time.
Yes.
So, but it was last year during the pandemic, which is crazy. In the summertime, I thought, you know what? I'm ready to really move on this. I'm going to do this.
Yes.
And so, I was like, where do I start? I needed to make sure things were formed legally, properly, the whole thing. And then I was like, well, I need to raise startup costs. And I did. And I had a number I needed to hit, and I raised double that in a week and got everything properly set up.
Yes. Well, that event was amazing because it's for your mom.
Yeah.
And I told you, like, I'm going to be there to support you. You know what I mean? And then I brought my Aunt Leticia because she survived breast cancer.
Right.
And so I was able to take her to Beverly Hills Hotel, or just Beverly Hills, period. She's never been there at all, and she's in her 50s. You know what I mean? So for me, it was nice to take my aunt that survived breast cancer to a beautiful event that she can relate to and understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then my other friend came out because she just wanted to be supportive. She was like, in this and with what the purpose is and the mission, I'm so down for it, to support another woman, a Latina, and it's in honor of her mom. Like, I'll be there. Yeah. And the event was amazing. And then George Lopez, hilarious.
I mean, people, the thing is, by the way, I will never do that again. In the sense of the timeline, that night was put together in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Which was even shorter than the pop-up, because even the pop-up, that was put together in 6 months.
Yes.
So, I did this, but now we're going to start planning it January of this year for October 27, 2022. Mark your calendars. That's going to be next year's event.
Awesome.
The hotel has already put it on reserve. But what can I say?
Let me tell you something. What was it? 74,000?
78.
$78,000 you raised. First event. That speaks volumes, because I've been to a lot of events for the first time, and it's like they just get 10, 20 grand. Like, you almost hit 100K, and next year you're going to hit past 100K for sure.
That's my goal. Yeah. My goal is 150K next year. But what's so interesting about it too is, so when the venue, by the way, people won't know this either, I'm like sharing a lot of fun stuff.
Yes, that's good.
Is that September 1st, we still hadn't locked in the venue yet. So yes, girl.
Oh my gosh.
So here's an event happening October 14th, and I still technically didn't have a venue. There was a venue, and I will not say the name of that venue, that I wanted to have it at. I was like, we're going to have it there. We're going to have it there. And it wasn't working out.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, got to let it go. And I don't like to give up.
You're a fighter.
I'm a fighter. But that particular day on September 1st, I was like, okay, I spent maybe 10 hours calling hotels, calling venue places, thinking, okay, maybe we'll do it in a home.
Yes.
And then I called the Beverly Hills Hotel, spoke to Tracy. The rest is history. She goes, we don't have the 14th available, but we do have the 28th. And I said, okay, I'll move the date. It's fine. That gives us two more weeks. Okay. But yeah, girl, September 3rd, I had to have a special board meeting for the board to approve that. And I remember, the question was, we'll support you, Leyna, with this. But the question is, what do we do if we don't make enough money to cover the cost? Because obviously it's not for free.
It's not.
Right? And I said, guys, I know this is not the right answer that you want to hear, and this is not the right business answer to give, but I don't have an answer for you, because that's not going to happen. No, I know, but what if, no, I'm telling you, I don't have an answer, because my mind will not go there. I will not allow myself to think about, what if we don't raise enough money? We will. That much I promise you. We're not going to lose on this. Maybe we break even. I don't know. But we're not losing, so let's not even go there.
Yes.
And sure enough,
boom.
We made.
Man.
We made, yeah.
Yes, I know. So congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I'm really excited. And so we can find HER2, the nonprofit organization, at www.her2breastcancer.org. And you can follow the organization at Instagram at her2_nonprofit. And you can follow Leyna.
By the way, I love the way you say my name. You're the only person that says Leyna.
I say Leyna.
That, right?
Like Raina, Leyna.
She's like, you follow Leyna.
And then I'm about to mess it up again. Leyna Topete.
Topete. I tell you, I was like, think about, because you and I both have a love for the Italian culture.
Yes, I'm just really trying to get it. I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm just tearing it up. Oh my gosh. But yes, So I'm happy we're friends. She loves me, so she's not going to kick my butt.
Oh,
but
yeah,
after
no,
this,
sure. I'm like, but after this, girl, you better never mess it up again. How is it going to be? Like,
I'm going to have to keep practicing. But before we close the show, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers?
I think my messaging will always be whatever you want to accomplish in life, just never think that you can't do it, you know?
That's right.
You know, I just really think that that's going to be my brand. I always kind of think I'll be like a J-Lo. In the sense of, you know, J-Lo, like her or not, the one thing you can never not say is she's a hustler.
Oh, yes, she is.
Happen. I like to think it's that Puerto Rican blood because I'm, you know, and recently I've grown to love for Rita Moreno.
Oh, yes.
Who's another, you know, strong
icon.
Icon. So, and that's that Puerto Rican blood. You know what I'm saying? So
fierce.
Yeah.
That Teano blood. That strong Teano blood. But yes, and you know, viewers, I just so excited that we touched up on cancer awareness, which is, you know, breast cancer awareness. We were able to touch up on Leyna's nuggets that she given us, you know what I mean? So that's important. And also just being an entrepreneur, just do it. Just do it. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Just do it. If you have a vision, write it down on a piece of paper, manifest, pray about it, and take action. Thank you so much, Leyna, for blessing us on Purpose and Passion with Raina Carrillo. Have a blessed day, you guys.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NACET. NACET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.